As the title of this video suggests, this is the last time I will be using my Go Overland Canada Voyage rooftop tent. Now, some of you who have been following me for a while, whether it's on YouTube or on Instagram, you know I've had this tent for a couple years. It went to the East Coast with us. It's recently been down to Maine. It's been all across Ontario at a bunch of different provincial parks. And so I just want to I want to start off by saying there's nothing wrong with this tent. There's no quality issues that I have, other than things that are kind of self-induced by, my own stupid, foolish behavior. So, again, there's nothing about the tent that's wrong. It's not about the quality of the tent. It's not about me wanting a different style tent or anything like that. Excuse me. The goal has always been, how do I travel as much as I can for as long as I can and make that process easier? And so, going to the East Coast, as you can see, it was a really great trip. It was probably one of the largest trips that I've taken, other than up to Thunder Bay, which is only a 19-hour drive in retrospect to, a couple days drive, right? And so with that being said, the tent was great, and Go Overland has other tents that are probably a lot more accessible in terms of setting up and taking it down. But this tent really fit my wants and my needs, and that was to have a lot of natural light and be able to see a view based on how I position the tent, so that way I had this big bay window out of the back so I could see whatever I wanted to see. And so the only thing was, because it was a fold out, and because it had some of the fabric that when you fold it back in, obviously you have to tuck it in, that is time consuming. Even though it was only, let's say on a deployment of the tent, it was only about 40 additional seconds to put the awning poles on or whatever, because as you guys can see, the side one is actually self-deploy. But that process was longer than everybody else in the group. And then similar, when I went to Maine recently, we would drive, 10, 12 hours, 8 hours, whatever. And the deployment time was super simple, but then the takedown time to fold it back up, tuck the fabric in, take all of my stuff out of it, it really slowed me down. And the other people I was with, my brother, he's new to kind of overlanding and camping in general, and so for him, he has a wedge style tent. It's much easier for him to deploy it and close it, even with the stuff he has to take out. Whereas with me, obviously I have to take all my stuff out, flip it forward, tuck all the fabric, and it does get to be a lot, especially when you're not staying in one spot for multiple days, where you basically park, deploy it, sleep in it, get up the next day, pack it down, and hit the road again. And so, that wasn't really a big deal either. But then you start to think about okay, if it's raining out, I have an awning, yes, but now I've got to traverse from the awning into the tent. And if it's pouring out, or there was a time where we had been camping and a tornado had come through our area pretty close to us, within 40 kilometers. And I felt like, in that instance, I started to think more and more, and the goal has always been to kind of move towards something like an allo cab, or something like what Leon has, which is a rover roll from the States, or tough cap here in Canada. And that's why soon you guys will see this truck, my truck, sporting the all Canadian made, all Canadian built, sourced, manufactured Yucca Pack camper. And I'm very excited to get that installed and kind of walk you through the camper itself, the things that I have with it, as well as, the interior that I'm going to build. And again, it's always been kind of an idea of mine, or a dream of mine, or a goal of mine to get there. It just so happened that this deal was too great to pass off, and it also comes with being affiliated with Yucca Pack and Blind Man Overland. And so to me, I have been looking for a Canadian company to represent here in Ontario alongside other Canadian brands like Adventure Trail Gear, like Canadian Med Kits. And so adding this to the table was just, it was a no-brainer for me. And I still love all of my, with everything that's going on, I still love all my American affiliates, Diode, CBI, Prinsu, Peak. I can't thank them enough for allowing me to continue to do what I do with the equipment and products that they provide to me and so many other people. So, but yes, with that out of the way, that long-winded backstory, this is the last time it's out. And, I'm still going to represent Go Overland Canada. There's still things that I have from Go Overland Canada, like the rugged cases, like the new 180 awning that I purchased, which will be going on the Yucca Pack. It's, again, it was a collaborative effort. No hard feelings. It was a personal decision for me, and I'm happy with it. And I think, anybody who has any questions about any of the Go Overland tents, or, any inquiries about this particular voyage, there's been updates with it. The newest version of the Voyage is a lot easier to take down and deploy. Even though it still folds, it's actually a hard shell when it's taken down. So that cuts down a lot on, tucking the fabric or whatever, right? So just kind of reach out, don't hesitate to reach out. And again, speak with Vito, the owner of Go Overland Canada. Great guy. And if anybody sees this and is interested, I have this prototype tent for sale. It does have a small hole in one of the mesh windows, and the awning poles need to be repaired in a not so autistic manner. The way I've done it, because I kept breaking them, and it wasn't anything to do with the tent itself. It was because I was being too aggressive when packing the tent down. They can be replaced or fixed. You can find this sort of tubing, and I still have replacement parts for the end pieces. So again, if you're looking for a tent, want to be under $1,000, hit me up, especially if you're here in Ontario, and we'll get you sorted out. So with that out of the way, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little TED Talk of mine about moving on from the rooftop tent and into a canopy camper or a Alacab style Yucca Pack camper. So I'm excited for this next chapter, and I know I've been slacking on YouTube, but I'm hoping that this will also increase my desire and willingness and content coming forward. So everybody have a good day, and I'll see you guys on the next adventure.